So here we go. Now Australia 101 for 5 at lunch, and the match absolutely on a razor thin edge. Australia, first half an hour India, 1 hour India, and thereafter that partnership between Steve Smith and Bo Webster, who looked very, very good on debut. And thereafter, just at the stroke of lunch, India picking up Steve Smith, evening things out. If you can see the sky behind me, Gargi joins me from just outside the ground as well. Look at the sky. It's bright, sunny here at the SCG, and there she's showing you basically scenes from Moore Park, which is opposite the SCG. These are beautiful, beautiful scenes. Australia fighting back, but India will take that session. They will take that session. There was serious intensity from Jasprit Bumrah, but more importantly from Mohammad Siraj. Gargi, your first thoughts. Mohammad Siraj, this is the Mohammad Siraj we know, and we saw him back today.
100%. But before we get to that, I'd like to just remind you that I said 4 wickets in the first session.
Yes, yes, you did the same. Ogni did the same. Good stuff.
Trisha,
But match on a razor thin edge at the moment.
absolutely. I think Mohammad Siraj was brilliant today. This is the Mohammad Siraj that needed to show up from so long in this series. And I think I would no, I'm not taking away any credit from Mohammad Siraj, but at the same time, the way that Virat Kohli was supporting him, the way that Jasprit Bumrah was supporting him, I think that was very, very good to see. And Jasprit Bumrah has been phenomenal with the changes, with the field. This has been a great, great session for India. Mohammad Siraj once again so brilliant, getting that ball to move, bowling consistently on the same line and length, troubling the batters, getting them frustrated, drying up those runs. This is the Mohammad Siraj that we needed.
Absolutely. Let's decode the session one after the other. You know, the battle was between Sam Constas and the Indian fast
Oh,
bowlers. At no point did Sam Constas look a test match player. He was
no.
throwing his bat at everything, trying to hit through the line, trying to hit his way out of trouble. Every time the ball was pitched up, he was missing, and his whole deal was let me try and get some runs aggressively. That is not test match batting. The one good shot was the ramp shot when the third man came in. And because the third man came in, he got that out. But the moment the third man was put there and the ball was put in the channel, that wicket was just around the corner, each ball, Gargi. From what we've seen of Sam Constas, he still has a lot to go, a lot to do ahead before he becomes a great. Very ordinary, trying to throw his bat at everything, and the Indians had his measure. Gargi.
No, I had deciphered Sam Constas from the very first innings. Look, that lap shots, those outrageous, audacious shots, are his release shots. He does not look like an international test batter. He does not look like a solid opener who opens for a team like Australia, who has the temperament to bat out innings after innings. I don't think he has all of that yet. He has the potential, yes, but Sam Constas does not look the part right now, and I think it just showed his weaknesses were, I think, glaring weaknesses on display today. And when you talk about it, again, those shots were pressure release shots. And, when you see him getting beat left and right, that's when he goes for the shots and tries to release some pressure off of him, tries to throw the opposition off their game. And it does not work for long. It's not a strategy that will work for long. India has already figured him out. Other teams will figure him out as well. So I know it's Sam Constas is a hoax, I think.
Yeah, he's box office, yes, because he does what he does, and he's got
Yeah.
character. But at this point in
Yep.
time, he's not a test match batter, and and
Yes.
and that's the truth. Because Sam Constas trying to throw his bat at everything when the ball is jagging around, moving around, jumping up, bounce, and he's playing the drive against the full pitched ball. He had his number. Any ball could have gotten him out. Coming to Manas Labuschagne, the whole series he's been lucky, but today the ball had his measure. Just with Bumrah once again, ball on off, and then just taking off that glove, Manas Labuschagne. But the most important wicket, I thought, once again,
Steve
the
Smith.
man, Steve Smith. But before that, let's also talk about the Travis Head wicket. The Indians seem to have now gotten him worked out. Three straight innings, 0-1-4 for Travis Head, and Mohammad Siraj was pumped up. Australia reduced to 39 for 4 at that point in time. The first half belonged to India. That was intensity that all of India wanted to see when they woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. The Travis Head wicket, Gargi, was the real peach from Mohammad Siraj. The best ball squared him up, and it was a good catch.
Oh, it was a very good catch. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal, right? Yashasvi Jaiswal took that catch. And
No, the Travis Head catch was slip. The Travis
oh,
Head
yes,
catch.
yes, yes.
Yashasvi Jaiswal was Sam Constas.
Right. That was a great catch as well in the slips. And, I've been saying this, and I was talking to other people in the press box as well, and I kept saying that you do not let the Australians take the momentum in the first session, and you have a lot of control of the match. And that's precisely what India did today, not letting go of those pressure, not letting go of that pressure. Yes, there was a little bit where Bo Webster and Steve Smith had started scoring, but the fact that they took charge of that pressure and kept bowling those consistent lines, did not let those runs leak. There were a few leaks, yes, but that's bound to happen. Everyone's human. But the fact that there was so much consistency from the Indian bowlers. Prasidh Krishna also looked good. Mohammad Siraj, brilliant. Jasprit Bumrah from the other end. This is the Indian bowling lineup that we all want. And this is the confidence that we need from the bowlers as well.
Trisha's there as well. Trisha, the wicket of Steve Smith changed everything for India. I mean, that partnership was taking it away. It was just that moment when India needed one big strike to go to lunch, recalibrate, come back with Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj. Yes, we know that the tail wags for Australia, and India has not been able to clean it up. But Steve Smith has been the problem. 200s already in this series, nearing 10,000 runs. How important a moment was that?
Maybe I will take a little bit of credit for that wicket because the moment I asked for the 10,000 card, Steve Smith played that shot. But to be honest, I think Boryada, we did see that his focus was a little bit broken because of the side screen issue, but that worked in our favor. And I would think credit to Prasidh Krishna. He kept the ball up. He bowled, that perfect channel of uncertainty, especially because Smith shuffled so much that he at times gets into it that he entangles himself and the drive doesn't come easily. That was that exact channel that Prasidh got. And at that point, had the lunch been taken before that, or if Smith was not out, you could say that this session was shared heavily towards the match leaning heavily towards Australia. But with the Smith wicket now, it's completely open. And as I had hoped and prayed and asked for 4 wickets in the first session.
Yeah, same for Gargi. Both of you asked for four. You got your four. You got your four. Boryada, isn't Jaiswal catching in Melbourne defying explanation now? Something psychologically damaging? No,
No,
no, no,
Come
no.
on,
bullshit.
This
let's
is
not
a
go there.
wrong
Let's not
question.
go there.
This is
That
No,
a
no,
this is
and
an
it's
unfair question.
let's not make conspiracy theories where it's
out of
not
thin air.
existing. You know,
No, 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 not at
these,
all.
you know what?
Not at all.
Stop making Rohit the scapegoat and the problem about everything. There are
No,
people
no.
who
This
will miss catches. Today, Jaiswal has so far done well. Someday again, he'll miss catches. It has got
And
nothing to
by
do
the
with
way,
Rohit, Kohli,
by the
Jasprit
way, in
Krishna.
the drinks break, Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, and Rishabh Pant were involved in a close conversation, an intense one. So people
Yeah.
who say Jasprit Bumrah and Rohit Sharma is not involved, they are not talking, they are not doing this. For God's sake, Rohit Sharma, not part of the 16 in that list, was in the ground with that bib, talking to Rishabh Pant, talking to Jasprit Bumrah. That is what unity is all about. Look at the role of Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was involved from ball one, and when Jasprit Bumrah went out, he was the acting captain. And that Prasidh Krishna delivery to Steve Smith, by the way, that change of bowling, getting Prasidh Krishna back right at the stroke of lunch, give credit where due. That Prasidh Krishna bowling change was an absolute masterstroke on the stroke of lunch. 5 overs for 21. You would have been tempted to go back to Siraj. On the other side, it was Jadeja who had bowled an over. They went back to Siraj again to give him that kill. I thought India was masterful in the last 10 minutes ahead of lunch. Gargi, your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. They were bang on. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, all
yes.
right. Because the audio. Yeah. So I think India right on the money in those last 10 minutes. Sorry, my bad. And you know what? I was sort of getting nervous about Bo Webster and and Steve Smith settling in because they were trying to take the game away from India. And I just, at one point, I don't know if I should take credit for this, but because I was feeling so nervous, I left because every time I left, India would get wickets, and look what
Don't go
happened.
inside. Stand here.
She's asking me to stand here for the entire match. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not for the entire match. I'm saying every time she leaves the media box or she goes inside, rather. So the media box has two places. One is inside, one is outside. Every time she's inside, India gets a wicket. So all that I'm
No,
asking you to
whenever
do.
I leave the room.
Oh, so just be
Yeah.
outside the room for the next 5 wickets.
The
But Boryada, this end 5 wickets
game
have been the
changing.
tougher ones to get for India. What do you think can be different? I mean, what can be our strategy this time?
The post lunch session is massive. I think India has to do things at the same time. I think India has to do two things at the same time. One, they have to control the flow of runs. They cannot let Australia get easy runs in the first hour after lunch because both Bo Webster and Alex Carey will come hard. Alex Carey plays his shots, so does Bo Webster. Both of these fellows will come hard at India. So you've got to control the run flow. On the other side, you also have to get wickets because 101, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will come back after lunch for at least a half an hour window. So 5, 6 overs from both of them. 5, 6 overs from both Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah, 3 overs each. Because this is intensely fierce, the sun. You've got to protect the premier bowlers. I think Prasidh Krishna and to an extent Ravindra Jadeja or Nitish Reddy are the critical cogs in the Indian wheel after lunch. Australia has fought Boland after Cummins and Stark, and that is where the difference is happening. India has Bumrah and Siraj, great. But after that, the problem. Prasidh Krishna redeemed himself before lunch. Can he do the job after lunch? Might well just well decide the post lunch session. Whatever India does, India has to be in charge of the post lunch session to make a match out of this. They get Australia out for 200, and it's eminently doable
Yeah.
now. We have a match on. Gargi and Trisha, your thoughts on that?
No, no, 100%. Australia is all out for, let's say, 220 maximum. Maximum, and you have a match. And you have a match there. I think then you'll have what? 50, 60, 70 lead? Australia will have a 50, 60 run lead. I'm not very good with
35.
that. Whatever. But yeah, they will have that lead, and that is very much achievable. And with the way that the pitch is performing right now, with the way that the surface is behaving right now, I think India can capitalize on this. The ball doesn't look too bad. Bowlers are looking very, very good. The line and length is very good. Consistency is very good, and I think the team is really just charged up. And you need to take this momentum and go forward. You have to bring this momentum back in the post lunch session and make sure that they don't let this pressure slip. That's going to be the key here.
Absolutely correct. And by the way, Australia has Pat Cummins, who has been a thorn in India's flesh, as captain bat and ball. So India should have plans for Pat Cummins. Get your catches, have your plans because Cummins will also come in hard and he will be aggressive, Trisha. He's been aggressive right through, and Pat Cummins will come hard at India. So what's the plan for Pat Cummins? Do you go in with a Jasprit Bumrah? Do you go in with a Prasidh Krishna after lunch and then get Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah back at each other so that you have one premier bowler continuously bowling? What is the Indian plan? Now that Prasidh has got that wicket, he will have his tail up after lunch. He's got the ball to bounce. Does India go in with the short ball against the newcomer? Will India go in with a short ball against a Carey or a Pat Cummins? What do you think India's plan can be? Because this is a match that India has actually fought back in. They've got it under control. They've not let Australia run away. If this morning is an index, India's morning, you would take that morning. 90 runs, 4 wickets, and top order wickets. India will take that morning, Trisha and Gandhi.
Absolutely. I think what India should ideally do is go with Prasidh Krishna at one end and ask him to bowl at the body of the batters. He bowled two short balls to Steve Smith and Webster, but that was way too, there was a lot of room for them to free their arms and hit the full shot. with Pat Cummins, because Pat Cummins is also tall, so it's not like you're gonna beat him in the bounce. What you have to do is you have to bowl at the body, because there's an instinctive, it's always an instinct to defend and
The
have a
first ball to Steve Smith.
absolutely have a forward short leg, and and from the other end, I think they should get in Mohammad Siraj, get in the pair of Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj, where Siraj bowls. Siraj has been on fire today. I think he has looked in beautiful, beautiful shape. So let him hold on to that shape and keep the batters guessing. On the other hand, Prasidh Krishna should go for the short ball, and once that fiery stint is over, let's go to Jasprit Bumrah from one end and Nitish Kumar Reddy, and not a spinner, I would suggest. I mean, Jaddu, I don't mind, but I would still say go for Nitish Kumar Reddy, because he can skid onto the bat and might cause problems.
Absolutely. And two things as far as the morning session for India is concerned. One, I like the intensity. There was a lot of chopping. There was a lot of
Yes,
verbal.
yes.
There was a lot of chopping at the start of the first 35, 40 odd minutes. And that's where I thought India was excellent. India was excellent with Jasprit Bumrah, Virat Kohli. But more importantly, not just Kohli and Bumrah. I thought the entire team was rallying around the chopping, giving Australia the verbal. That was excellent to see. The other thing that I want to point out in the morning session is the fact that India kept attacking except that brief 20-25 minutes when they had just
Yeah.
one slip. I don't think you can go defensive. I don't think at any point in time on a wicket which is offering assistance even now, the swing may be less, but the bounce is there and there is movement. You cannot go on the defensive and let Australia have easy runs. 185 is all you got. So you've got to continuously attack and purchase your wickets. Somehow get your wickets. You cannot go on the defensive. Trisha Dargi, that this is a thin line. How do you control this game? Box fields, in out, whatever you do, but you've got to be on the money and attack. Keep fielders in attacking positions. Keep catchers there. Unless you have that, Australia will just think about it. You had one slip at one point. Steve Smith, you had the second slip back, and that is why you got your catch. Otherwise, it could have gone through that vacant area if you were defensive. These are little pointers that India need to get right, Trisha.
Absolutely. I think what I liked about today's captaincy also was one move that I really, really liked was when Nitish Kumar Reddy was bowling, Rishabh Pant coming up to the stumps to stop Steve Smith's movement. Small, as you said, small moments, but goes big, because the moment someone like a Steve Smith in form is able to do those movements around the wicket, it becomes easier to bat on for him, of course. And again, when the catch was taken off Steve Smith, this was my first reaction that thank God there was a second slip.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could have gone for
Exactly.
runs and a big miss, because Steve Smith is not going to give you three chances. He's going to give you one chance or maybe max two in his entire innings, and you have to hold on. Again, with the next session, I think it has to be straight on the attack. Somehow we have not been able to, Gargi, attack the tail enders. We have given them a
Yes,
lot more
yes,
respect
yes.
than they deserve as batters.
You know what? I was having this conversation with an Australian media journalist, and he was saying the same thing. They're going to get all the wickets, and then someone like a
Yeah,
Poland and a Nathan Lyon are going to take the game away from you. And I said, I hopefully that does not happen today, because India has the tendency to do that. I don't know what shifts. Is it the mentality? Is it the strategy or the technical planning that is going behind? Something shifts that lets the tail enders take the match away. We've seen that with Pat Cummins. We've seen that with Mitchell Stark. We've seen that with Nathan Lyon, Scott Boland. Scott Boland batted for so long. It was surprising how that happened, because they looked comfortable. That was the most surprising part. It's not like they were getting edges and scoring. They looked comfortable, and that's precisely what should not happen today.
Yeah, but the context is very different. In
Yeah, yeah,
Melbourne,
yeah, for
Australia
sure.
had a lead. Australia was setting the target.
Yes,
India
yes.
was in a different position. This is a different ballgame. So the context is very different. I don't see Scott Boland and Nathan Lyon doing what they did in Melbourne, even remotely half
agreed,
of that, or even a
agreed,
quarter of that. My
completely,
my
completely.
issue here is Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark. because both of those guys have
Yes.
upped their batting,
Stay long.
and that's where India needs to be really really good. Trisha, who would you start with? Would you start with a Prasidh Krishna and a Bumrah and then get Siraj back? Because you have a Bumrah Siraj back to back means, or would you start with a Bumrah Siraj on either end and say, no, half an hour of my best and then I will go to Prasidh Krishna? Because Prasidh has got the wicket before lunch. Who would you start with? Very important part of play this. India should get it right in the dressing room. There will be calibration, but who would you start with?
You know, initially I was actually, even now in the live, I had said I might go with Prasid and Siraj, but suddenly I got reminded about something. When Labuschagne and Pat Cummins were batting against Bumrah, Labuschagne was actually shielding Pat Cummins. So I would immediately go with Bumrah. Probably there's a psychological issue there with Pat Cummins and Bumrah.
Could be.
Because why would otherwise someone like a Pat Cummins be shielded?
Exactly.
Somebody who has been scoring probably more than their batters have been. So that's why I feel if there's a psychological issue here, they should
has to
take
be
advantage of.
exploited.
Absolutely. So start with. I would have definitely gone with Siraj. I was saying Prasidh and Siraj, but now I'm changing and thinking
Bumrah,
going
Prasidh.
back to no Bumrah Siraj.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Go for
I,
the kill.
I would still think Prasidh and Bumrah. For some reason, I think that could be something that can work because if Prasidh bowls that line, because he's getting such an invariable bounce, and if he's bowling those body blows, I think we can get a few edges out of that.
100% because and what kind of a field? Because it's what I know. The ball is 30 overs old, I know,
Yeah.
but it's still doing a bit. It is not
Yeah,
as
it
if the
is.
ball has
It
stopped
is.
swinging at any point.
Exactly.
Yes, the movement may be a little less, but the bounce is very much there. The bounce
Yes.
is very much there. The movement is still there. It is the ball will cut, the ball will seal. We've seen that with Australia right up to the 66th, 67th over. So that's something that one has to see. But a word on Bo Webster, Tisha, on debut. I thought he was very good.
Yeah,
Bo
he is.
Webster on debut at 4 for 39 has made a real big difference. He was calm, he was composed. At no point did he let the pressure get to him. Yes, a couple of Bumrah deliveries he was beaten, anyone will, but he did not throw it away. Played his shots whenever he got an opportunity. I thought Bo Webster was very, very good for Australia.
Absolutely, I think Bro Webster looks absolutely the part, as you say. The confidence with which he's playing, and most importantly, I think in Test match cricket, one thing helps you in judging batters, and that is how well do they leave the balls in the initial phase of their innings. And I think Bro Webster has done that very well. The judging the balls, not being not trying to express himself unnecessarily. That has he has looked the part. And with the ball, you have got 4 wickets. That confidence you are taking. So overall, I think he has looked brilliant. And considering the fact that that particular part was a walking wicket for India, because Mitchell Marsh had literally become a walking wicket. So that part will be tough as well.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I was a tad disappointed with the way Nitish Reddy bowled. Both
Yeah.
sides of the wicket. All Nitish Reddy needs to do is contain one side of the wicket, pack it, contain, give a couple of signals. If you concede 3 boundaries in a low scoring match, you are actually letting the game drift away from you. Yes, I know Steve Smith is a great batter. He was coming at them, using his opportunities, but that's where India needs to control. Cummins, Stark and Boland, and that third bowler, whoever it is for India, is becoming the issue. But I think Prasanth Krishna, with that Steve Smith wicket, should now feel so much better in the dressing room. A word from both of you on KL Rahul. 3 smart catches. Usman Khwaja, Steve
Travis
Smith,
Head.
and of course Travis Head. Very, very good catching from India. They have dropped nothing in this match so far. Even Jaiswal stayed low to take that Sam Constas catch. Word from both of you on India's catching.
I was just telling Agni, we were having lunch before this now. So I was telling Agni that next time when you are trying to drop KL Rahul for whatever reason,
Think about
you have to take this into account as well, that you have got a very good slip
Yeah,
catcher
yeah,
in
yeah.
him. And I think it is a tad bit technical, if you think of it. It's a tad bit easier for KL Rahul than the rest of the slip catchers because he's a wicket keeper. So he will be seeing the ball well, and
Very
he
well.
will, yeah, exactly. Because in slip catching, a lot of people probably do not understand the most difficult part is sighting the ball, because you have the batter's back and you just have
Split
to,
second.
yeah, it takes a split second to judge where the ball is coming, how low the ball can come, and especially in a wicket where there is a
It's flex.
there is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
variable bounce, Gargi.
You can never tell, on a wicket like this, you can never tell where is going to take the edge because you've got the bounce and, slip catching is all about anticipation. One of my coaches, had told me that whenever you're in the slip, keep saying to yourself, the ball is going to come to me.
Correct.
And that's how you keep yourself ready. That's how you keep yourself ready. You have to expect that every catch is going to come to you, and that's how you stay ready. But I think Trisha also brings up a
KL
brings up
Rahul
a
brings up a good point.
Trisha brings up a good point about KL being a wicket keeper, and he's a great catcher. He's a great catcher at slip, and it's always been the case.
And the
If I,
best part is, because he's a wicket keeper, he has that perfect
Stay low.
movement. He
Yeah.
stays low and gets up only with the bounce. That has been the best part.
I thought the wicketkeeper point is an excellent one.
Yeah.
Excellent point. I mean, and exactly the small nuances that helps us understand the game better. Now that both of you got your morning prediction right, it is time to put you guys on the spot again. Now
No,
tell me what's
I'm not
happening
doing
at
it
two.
again.
I think
What's
we'll wrap
happening
them
at
up.
two?
I think we'll
Five
wrap them
wickets
up
in
this.
this section.
Yeah.
Gargi?
I have a feeling that if I say it out loud, I'm going to jinx it, so I'm not going to do that.
No, no, no,
No
no, no. No
predictions.
sitting on
No
the line.
predictions. No predictions from me today. For now, at least this one.
Okay, I have a sneaky feeling Pat Cummins will once again make
Oh.
it difficult for India. But, but I also feel what I said yesterday, and I tweeted last night only. This is a wicket where Australia will not be able to run away with this. Anyone who thought India done and dusted, no. I don't think this game is half over. This is a game that will go down. This is a game that has plenty of ups and downs. The pendulum will shift. What a riveting test match. The weather classic, not a speck of cloud in the sky. Unbelievable test match. Look at the intensity. This is something else.
Pure test
Already
cricket.
This is pure
40,000
test
people.
cricket. This is
Pure
pure
test.
test
This
cricket.
is this is pure test cricket. She says pure drama, theater, spectacle, whatever you want to call it. Time for both of them to go in. Post lunch session about to start in a couple of minutes. We will join back at tea. Take care for the moment. Keep watching, supporting India. Back the bowlers, back the boys. This is Test cricket at its very best. Trisha Gargi, to everyone watching, thank you very much for joining us.